Hi guys, I'm back with another video today. So today's video is something that's going to be a little bit different. This video might be a little bit longer than you expect it to. Now, I don't know how long the video is going to actually be, so this video might be into 2 or 3 parts, but I don't know. So I would thank two people for the curation of this video. Two people inspired me to do this video. The first one is Nightmare Crypt. Thank you, dude, for supporting me in the making of this video. You're the person who told me to do it, even though nobody else wanted me to do it. And I would also like to thank Blame It on Jorge or Blame It on George, whichever one you want to call it. He likes to be called Blame It on George. I would like to thank him. He originally wanted to do this video first, but I'm going to be the first one on the whole entire YouTube to do this video. And I would also like to thank the creator of this iceberg, Reddit Reddit user comedyfan74 for making this iceberg explain list. So today's video is going to be the iceberg explained Lost Game Show Media iceberg. I'm going to be the first person ever doing this. So let's jump right in. So we're going to be at the surface level of the iceberg. The first one is Wheel of Fortune NBC episodes. The basic idea of this, the NBC episodes, or the Wheel of Fortune NBC episodes were aired on NBC. I think everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. Wheel of Fortune has been aired on NBC for years. The next thing is the Jeopardy 1964 pilot episode. So, the Jeopardy partially found unaired pilot NBC game show 1964. Jeopardy is a game show that premiered on NBC on March 30th, 1964, and it ended its first run on January 3rd, 1975. It briefly returned on NBC October 2nd of 1978, and ended its second run on March 2nd, 1979, and returned again, but its syndication on September 10th, 1984, and has been airing ever since. It was created by the talk show host Merv Griffin and hosted by Art Fleming for the NBA series, and later by Alex Trebek for the syndicated series from 1984 to 2021. Next is Dreamhouse 1983 to 1984. So the basic idea that the main game is two teams of two, usually married couple. One of them returning champion compete to win a house worth approximately $100,000. The host reads a true or false toss-up question open to all four players. A correct answer is awarded the couple $50. Their choice of 4 categories, while a miss gave the money and control to their opponents. Each category had multiple choice questions with 3 possible answers. After the couple control gave their answer, the opponents had the option to challenge and select a different one. The couple with the right answer won $100 or $150 in the event, and unsuccessful challenge. Each team could challenge twice during the round. Once a category had been played, it was removed from the board and a new toss-up was asked. The round continued until all four categories had been used. The game was played in 2 rounds, with the leader after the first round winning a prize. The second round was played the same as round one, except that each team had one opportunity to double the value of the question before the question was asked. The couple leading after 2 rounds won the game, received room of the fortune, and advanced to the bonus round. Couples can keep whatever they want, win or lose. If the game ended in a tie, one more true and false toss-up question was played to break the tie. During the 15-month NBC run, the special weeks were set aside for siblings, single couples with children, and engaged couples. There was also a week in November of 1983 where the cast of Different Strokes, another game show, played for designated couple, as well as one from May 1984 in which two celebrity teams played a charity each day. Rule changes. Several rule changes went into effect in April 1984. The couple in control was required to hit the plonger to determine the question value displayed on the money machine. A random light which stopped at $50, $150, or $150. The amount also couldn't be accompanied by the prize, which awarded a puzzle to the team that answered correctly, or turnover, which allowed the team who answered correctly to remove one extra from the combination lock if received the bonus round. Also, if the winning team led by $500 to $950 after 2 rounds, they originally received a prize, but this was later changed to a $500 bonus. Winning by $1,000 or more was worth a new car. Unlike the first format, there was no bonus round. In the bonus round, the couple tried to open a set of golden doors by programming the correct 3-digit combination into an electric lock secured them. The lock displayed 3 rows of 4 digits, and the correct combination consisted of digits from each row. The couple was given an opportunity to remove incorrect digits, both making their guess. Originally, each day the couple reached the bonus round, one correct digit was automatically removed from the lock. Following the sequence of the top, middle, bottom, a later rule change removed one digit from each time the couple returned, thus depriving them of one elimination on their first day. A couple could also have removed it if they had landed on number off on the money machine once the format for the front game was changed. After the initial removes of digits, the couple chose 1 to 3 categories and answered 3 questions in it, each 2 possible answers. Each correct answer eliminated one more digit from the top row for the first, the middle for the second, the bottom for the third. After the questions, the couple entered their guess at the combination. Once a digit was chosen, it could not be changed. After making their guess, the couple pressed the button referred to as the time release bar, which caused a series of 4 light built into the frame of the golden doors to activate from the bottom up. If the combination was correct, all lights came on, the golden doors opened, and the couple won the house. If not, the topmost section remained dark. A buzzer sounded, and the host revealed the correct combination. Champions returned to face the golden doors each day until they either programmed the winning combination, won enough games to automatically win the house, or were defeated by another couple. 7 victories were intentionally required to win the house. This therefore was later lowered to 5. Then they raised to 6 in the match where a couple was in the position to win the house. If they won the main game, a plugger, alternatively called the Golden Circuit Breaker, and a hotline switch was brought out at the beginning of the second round. If a couple won, the plunger was pushed after the match. The golden doors automatically opened. Any couple that won the house either by guessing the combination or by winning the request number of games retired undefeated, and 2 couples competed on the next show. The next one is Woo, the soundtrack. The only way the entire soundtrack could be seen the light of day is if any museum or television production music yearly subscribers got a copy when it was available on public. On September 13, 2020, the Lost Media Wiki user ComedyFan74 used a website called the phonicmind.com to remove the vocals of the ex-gone Woo It to Ya, leaving just the intermezzo that basically the full opened. It was uploaded to Internet Archive 2 days later. Number 5, Demi Lovato beat Shazam appearance. Demi Lovato episode beat the Shazam pulled by Fox after apparent overdose. Demi Lovato's appearance on Fox's Beat the Shazam game show will not air on Tuesday night in light of the singer's hospitalization. Sale of the Century, 1969 to 1973. From 1969 to 1973, the game featured 3 contestants who all began with $25. Midway through the game, the question values doubled to 10. At first, the final round consisted of 30 seconds of $15 questions. Later, this was replaced with 5 $20 questions called the Century Round, as the total value of the questions was $100. If the contestant's total was reduced to 0 or lower, the contestant was eliminated from the game. Jackpot, 1974 to 1975. Only 2 of the 1974 to 75 editions exist today, including the $38,750 win. Every episode of the 1985 to 1990 editions all still exist, and both have been seen on the Game Show Network at various times in the last few years. It got canceled in 1975. The Cuba USA 2010 pilot episode. I generally couldn't find anything information-wise on it. I looked all over the internet and I couldn't find anything, so yeah, that's that. 9. Deal or No Deal ABC pilot episode. Deal or No Deal is a long-running game show that's been airing in various incarnations since 2000. However, 4 pilot episodes for one rejected version of the game was brought to ABC in 2004. Number 10, Snap Judgment, 1967 to 69. Despite the largely known about the show, no episodes of it exist in archive form. The only 2 remaining clips that exist are audio only. They are the intro and a small clip from a 1967 episode from the bonus round. The August 19th, 1968 show is known that exists on audio tape, and it doesn't appear to have been linked on the episode's holder. Archival Television Audio Incorporated doesn't have any way to listen to its recordings online. It is unlikely any footage exists due to it being aired in the late 60s. The only game show known that Mark Mark Goodson, Bill Todman Productions doesn't hold any of the episodes of it. Okay, now we're getting into layer 2, Shadow Waters. Shallow Waters, number 1. You're in the Picture, episode 2. Second episode is produced and ready for the airing presumptively as pilot for the following week's broadcast on January 27th. Instead of the scheduled episode, Gleason did a 30-minute apology for the poor quality of the series, mocking the format and failure of the show. The apology won angry sponsors and the network was tremendous success, and it often looked upon the highlight of Gleason's career. Despite attempts to revamp the show, Gleason revived his talk show, The Jackie Gleason Show, for 8 episodes to fill the rest of You're in the Picture scheduled run. Double Dare, 1968 to 1994, missing episodes. Double Dare is a game show that ran on Nickelodeon from 1986 to 1993, had another short-lived run in 2000, and yet another short-lived run from 2018 to 2019. Hosted by Mark Summers, the classic game show focused primarily on kids who have to go through obstacles courses in order to win prizes and trips and small amount of money. While the show certainly has far better than most game shows by having the privilege of years of reruns fans to record, over 100 episodes are still unable to be seen online or anywhere for the matter. The lost episodes of the 482 episodes of every variation, with the exception of Double Dare 2000 and the 2008 revival hosted by Liza Koshy, give or take, only approximately 380 are online in circuit, not including the unaired Old Timers special unearthed by the co-creator Jeffrey Darby in 2015. Every episode of the family Double Dare may accounted for, including the short-lived Fox prime time series, which was posted to iTunes. Almost all of the episodes from this first 65 episode season are online, with the only missing episode being the Extraordinaires versus the Challengers. The only footage is available in a 5-minute clip, which was uploaded to YouTube by the user Josh Limberman back in 2011. Jackson, I don't know how to say that name, older brother of Dion of the Extraordinaires team, said the comments that has the full episode revealing his brother lost the obstacle course. Possibly the most notable chunk of the series missing in the second half of the 1987 season of the super sloppy Double Dare. Only 23 episodes of the allegedly 40 episode run are available. One of the episodes missing, infamous The Man in the Boat episode, where Mark loses it over a plastic man in the boat, which was placed on obstacles. The portion of the episode, as well as a few others, can be seen on the 1988 Kids Classic compilation tape. The inside scoop in 2010, a YouTuber named the Prince Fan 2007 said he has the full episode, but it's unknown if he still has it. 123 of the 130 episodes, first half 62, second half 61, that were taped for syndication in 1988 exist on the trading circuit. The masters for the second half of the 1987 Super Sloppy are rumored to have been destroyed by a flood. However, this hasn't been confirmed. There are no exact numbers for missing episodes from Season 1 and Season 2, and the 1989 episode of Super Sloppy, though allegedly in the 1989 version had 95 episodes, 55 at the studios of WHYY TV Philadelphia, and 40 at then yet open Universal Studios in Orlando. Another episode that is missing of light was to fit the broadcast is the pilot host by Jeffrey Darby. It's nothing like the final product. More than anything else, a small portion can be also seen inside the scoop. In the article for the Philadelphia Interior on July 15th, 1987, Gail Schister wrote the announcer full name John Harvey would be doing a radio show in New York hotel room while taping 26 episodes of the show there, but later article written a couple months later, Schister wrote that 170 episodes of the show had been taped at WHYY TV in Philadelphia. Whether the original super sloppy version did indeed have a total of 26 episodes, or whether extra for show were taped in Philadelphia is unclear. In April of 1989, an issue of the weekly Variety magazine, Jeffrey Darby stated normally 3 or 4 episodes are shot a day at the Capia studio rented from WWHY Philadelphia, a PBS station. 300 are in the can and 95 new ones will be ready fall. They are shown first syndication at 150 some stations across the country, and then Nickelodeon after 6 months in the window. The quote suggests that 95 in question was the 1989 run of the Super Sloppy. Again, 55 in Philly and 40 in Orlando. And it also suggests that the total number of air shows from 1986 to 1989 was 395. But whether the number was actually 408, including the 13 Fox premiered pride time shows, or whether the not 395 numbers includes the kids only and Fox premiere ones, it's once again unclear. On January 17th, 2016, a user named Adam Barkan uploaded an episode of the 1987 version to YouTube featuring his team, the Arnolds, ad-lib and poor aspect radio quality. On October 19th, 2018, Chris Bryant uploaded the Columbus Cougars vs. K-Team episode of the Super Sloppy Double Dare to Daily Motion in June 18th of 2020. The same user uploaded Cosmic Sparks versus Slimy Worms in entirety. In December of 2020, the audio from the Man in the Boat episode surfaced on Daily Motion. The show has been released on CBS All Access Viacom streaming service. However, the missing episodes that were mentioned are previously not found on the service. The incidents. Aside from the old timers, there was at least one episode of Double Dare that was filmed but never aired. The episode involved a child that had a condition called brittle bone disease that made his bones more fragile than an average contestant on the show. He lied about it on the application and made it on the show. During the filming of the episodes, the predictable happened. The kid broke his arm while during one of the obstacles on the obstacle course. Mark said that the kid bone was right through the skin, and Mark had to leave the set immediately, almost puking. The obstacle course was not redone, and the episode was never aired on television. Another episode that involved an incident was a kid went down the sewer chute, and Mark thought the kid died. After the show, the kid's father, who happened to be an attorney, forced the staff to give his son the prize of Obstacle 7, a large screen TV. Otherwise, he would sue them. The TV was given to the contestant, and the staff from that point on checked the applicants to make sure The kids' parents were not attorneys. Um, Name that tune pilot episode. In 1990, there was a plan to bring the show back. A pilot was shot by Peter Allen, hosting the version was set to produced by the Catchphrase creator Marty Pasetta and syndicated by Orion Entertainment. The format was the same as the 1994 CDI game based on the show. The host by Bob Green. The three players choose one of the four tunes from the categories, and each tune a dollar amount behind. The first player to buzz in with the correct name of the tune to win the amount the tune was hiding. The players with the lowest eliminated. The two players that made it through the first round moved on to bid no, and in the round two, players faced off as they tried to name the tune by biting a certain amount of notes that they can name that tune. The players to guess three tunes of the five gold medley. The gold medley is where the survivors players try to urge the name of tunes in 30 seconds. If the player can do just, they win the game. Number 4, the WWT BAM Brad Berkone run. A lot of game shows have missing episodes and unaired episodes, although Who Wants to Be a Millionaire has no missing episodes. Most likely, there are a few segments of the show that never aired particularly. The contestants who were discovered to flown the episode, Tim Shields, Pete Booker, and Lori Bailey, don't ever have the return segment, with the exception of David Hanya and Ed Toothtant. However, if Ed didn't win the top prize, he would return. The segment would probably not have ever aired. However, there's actually one full game that didn't air. The contestant was Brad Brunucci, who was actually the last contestant in the November 1999 run and played after Neil Larry Moore and won $125,000. It was said that the game didn't air due to time constraints, and the episode aired on November 24th, 1999. Number 5, Nickelodeon Splat, 2004. Nickelodeon Splat was a game show that aired in the summer of 2004 on Nickelodeon, airing live as a programming block between shows. The contestants of the show were divided into colors based on their months of birth, which included the green team, the yellow team, and the red team. The audience was a part of the show as well, and the winning team at the end of each episode and their captain would slime the specific areas of speeding. The actual contestants performed funny tasks in order to win prizes. An unknown prize was won at the end of the series as the yellow team held the winning score. Since its airing, it has become particularly notable for being the final program to be taped at Nickelodeon Studios in Orlando, Florida, before its closure months later on April 30th, 2005. Improv Olympics 1998 pilot episode. Sometime in 1988, the very young Chicago Comedy School Improv Olympics, which has churned out such a comedian as Mike Myers, Vince Vegan, and Andy Rickner, was offered a pilot for a Who's the Line in Anything style improvisation of the game show. Los Angeles. Charna Helbner, a director and teacher at the Institute, brought along some what she felt were her best students, including the fresh-faced Chris Farley, who had recently arrived from Madison. However, as the filming of the special progressed, with Farley and the rest of the team doing some intelligent, highbrow improv exercises. The producer was frustrated at the material he was beginning to give, claiming it was too smart and insisting they dumb it down. One by one, the comics were fired and replaced by what Halpern referred to as a dick joke comedians. Farley, still on board as a performer, approached Halpern with concern that he felt he had to bow to the producer's wishes as he didn't want to be fired as well. Halpern told him to go ahead, and Farley proceeded to do the routines involving pulling his pants up to the crack of his buttocks, dancing around, making a fool of himself, according to Halpern. The producer and crew fell on their faces laughing as he had given them what they wanted. The pilot was scrapped, however, Farley returned to Chicago, where he eventually went on to fame with The Second City and Saturday Night Live before his untimely death at 33 in 1997 of a drug overdose. Halpern recalled the filming of the taping in the biography of The Chris Farley Show. However, nothing in the pilot has ever been seen by the public, and it's unknown if the footage still exists, considered as lost. Legends of the Hidden Temple Kubi version. It was going to be a reboot of The Legend of the Hidden Temple on the stream service Kubi, but it never happened because the streaming service was shut down December 1st, 2020. Okay. WWT BAM Charles Ingram Run. A found episode of WWT BAM as Charles Ingram is the contestant, and you can find the video on YouTube. Search it up. Figure It Out, 1996 pilot episode. Figure It Out is a Nickelodeon game show that originally ran from July 7, 1997 to December 12, 1999, and it was hosted by Summer Sanders. What was many fans of the show don't know is that sometime during the mid-90s, a specific year unknown, a pilot was made and it was totally different from the end result. Sadly, it faded into obscurity and was never aired. The unaired pilot. For the pilot, instead of Summer Sanders, Kevin Seal was chosen to be the host, instead of the 1990s Nickelodeon theme set that was used from the remainder of the series. It was a multicolored filled puzzle pieces. The panelists were Darislav Nag and Kevin Koplo and Danny Taberli, the first of which never appeared in the actual show. The official pilot with Summers was filmed on February 13th, 1997, with a brand of new style and set started production a month later, as given by an interview with Summer herself. Starts about 4 in. It's currently unknown if there was any different in the gameplay, why Kevin did not host the rest of the series, and why sets changed drastically. 10. Hollywood Squares, Sandy Burton pilot episode. Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour was an American game show that combined two popular formats, Match Game and Hollywood Squares, into one. It aired on NBC from October 31st, 1983 to July 1984, was hosted by Gene Rayburn for the Match Game portion of the show and the bonus round, and actor John Bauman for the Hollywood Squares portion, and announced by a legendary game show host announcer Gene Wood, and on a separate occasion by Johnny Olson and Richard Jeffries. This was the first time two popular formats would be paired in one show and not been attempted since. Before the show was picked up by NBC, a pilot shot demonstrated the two formats in action. It had many differences to the aired series. Okay, that is part 1 of the Iceberg Explained Lost Game Show Media Iceberg. If you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. And I can't wait for you guys to see part 2. See you guys next time.